Good morning, guys. Yo soy Yams and I'm back with another YouTube video. Quick bag earlier in the morning today. I wouldn't call it an early work day. For the most part, I finished trading around 7:30, but as you can see here, we caught 90 points today. So we're gonna go ahead and just talk about everything that went through my mind today. We also did commentary trading on the Discord, so I was basically just giving my thought process throughout most of it. As you can see here, tapping into hourly for rally gap, want to see some liquidity taken. We do get some liquidity taken. I entered longs, and then boom, 80 points, right? Bang. So for the most part, let's jump into this trade recap. So when I logged into the charts, I instantly see that we ended up taking some external, right? We had ended up on the hourly, as you can see here, we actually ended up taking out this high sitting over here. And this was 5:30 news candle, right? We had big red folder news today. Now, for the most part, what I was paying attention to was this 15-minute for rally gap, right? If price wants to remain bullish, right, we would respect this 15-minute for rally gap, right? And what basically helped me confirm this and what helped me, remain a little bit more confident in this trade was this candle flip. Right now, or I mean, like 30 seconds ago, I showed you guys that I wanted to see some liquidity taken here, right? As you can see, price actually ended up taking out a little bit of liquidity sitting down at these lows down over here. And ES actually failed to take out these lows, right? These lows are sitting down for an ES all the way down here. Let me go ahead and show you guys, right? So ES actually never took out these lows. So this also provided us with an SMT with the other indice being ES, right? So this is an SMT. So now I'm like, okay, this looks good, right? And we also have an hourly for rally gap. I mentioned we were tapping into an hourly for rally gap here. So I had this hourly for rally gap drawn into because this was the move that sponsored us to the upside. Not only that, I did notice that we did have this hourly order block here as well, and we tapped into it. Now for this entry, we did not tap into the hourly order block here, but for the most part, I just had it marked out just because, as you can see here, we were kind of just respecting it, following along this hourly for rally gap, right? So it was just a double thing lining up together, and those are just things you like to see in general when stuff starts to line up, right? So for the most part, I'm like, okay, I want to see some liquidity being taken here, and obviously I just showed you guys we had some internals, and we also have an SMT with ES. And I'm looking back at the 15-minute, I'm like, okay, wait, did the 15-minute ever close? No, the 15-minute actually gave us this candle flip to the upside, and I was like, oh, this looks amazing. If this ends up not closing and respecting this 15-minute for rally gap, all the confluence aligning and everything, I do believe that price may want to draw towards a little bit of buy side, right? So I go into the 1 minute, and I ended up actually taking this inverse for rally gap here. As you can see, I ended up taking this inverse for value gap trade, and for the most part, I was targeting, we had some relative equal highs sitting above here, so this was my main price on target. Let me go ahead. So this was my main TP here for 80 points. We do also have some external sitting high over here. We don't know if we're actually going to take those out or not. We're actually tapping back into, as we speak, into this 15-minute for value gap here. We also have this smaller one down over here. Is there an entry for this? I don't think so. No, there's not really much an entry here. But so yeah, I entered off of this inverse. As you can see as well, this inverse is actually deep in premium, right? This inverse is actually deep in premium. Someone in my Discord said that I got a goated entry, and for the most part, yeah, for the most part, this is basically, I guess, catching the bottom or whatever. But what really made me want to take this trade was the fact that we have an instant reaction with good momentum, right? This is a V shape. If you trade inverse for value gaps, or if you follow Dodgy or whatever, he always talks about V shape. This is the V shape every inverse for value gap trader wants to see, right? As soon as we sweat some internal liquidity, SMT with ES tapped into a higher time frame PD array, and we get an instant reaction here, and I'm like, okay, this was pretty much light bulb. As soon as I saw this, I was like, okay, entered longs. So for the most part, this was the entry, and I was a little bit not scared, but I was like, damn, this 1 minute for value gap was actually giving us some trouble. So as you can see here, let me go ahead and remove this to the side. Let me go ahead and remove this 15-minute here as well. As you can see, we're just bouncing off between liquidity pools, right? We're literally just bouncing off. We're literally just ping-ponging between this 1 minute for value gap and this 1 minute for value gap. But this 1 minute for value gap is the fair value gap that sponsored the move to the upside. We use this fair value gap as a stepping stone to potentially continue higher into these highs right over here. And not only that, we did also have a 5 minute fair value gap here that I thought was going to be a little bit more troublesome. Ideally speaking, I thought we were going to tap into it, maybe retrace and then continue higher. It's a bunch of what ifs, right? If you're trading, you're supposed to just keep in mind what if, right? But actually, this 5 minute fair value gap was actually easy to just run through. For the most part, what was giving us some trouble was this 1 minute fair value gap here that was just holding strong for the longest time. So we tapped into it once, 2, 3, 4, 5. Yeah, we just tapped to it like a bunch of times. So as soon as we inverse this 5 minute fair value gap, to be honest, you could have entered here as well, just because we just have crazy reactions. And now, what would you ideally target? I do think though, if you were to enter off of this, your stop loss or whatever would have been a little bit wonky. So here is your 1-to-1 if you entered off of this 5 minute here. If you're into 1-to-1s and stuff like that, and you think the draw of liquidity is potentially this high, again, this high on this 5 minute is sitting in this 5 minute fair value gap here. If you watch my other videos, I do talk about highs that sit in fair value gaps being, good take profits or draws of liquidity or whatever. I do use them for the most part. So this would have still ended up green. For I think, yeah. So you would have only been in 12 points in drawdown for the most part, but the trade actually ended up working and gives you a little bit more extra for around 52 points, right? But I entered all the way down over here, and it was a slow grind up. Not the best, I think. I do feel like if price were to given us an expansion candle, I thought this candle right here was going to be the expansion candle. And it was an expansion candle, but what I mean by that is it expands and it creates a fair value gap. So price, may use it as a stepping stone to continue higher. But no, we literally, let me see, after this 1 minute fair value gap, we literally got 0 fair value gaps to these relative equal highs here. 0, literally 0, which is crazy to me, but I'm glad the trade actually ended up working. We do have external sitting over here, and not only that, we're also in a model, right? As you can see here, we do have buy side model playing out. We just ended up finishing sell side model here. So this is, honestly, I think this is a perfect model in my opinion. I think this is a perfect market maker model, and the reason why I say this is just because of this instant reaction here, right? Again, tapped into an hourly for value gap, internal liquidity swept SMT with ES, and we do have a instant reaction here with good momentum, and this basically this lights the fire for the market maker buy model to start playing out. Right now, do we end up getting this external here? No. Do we have to get it? No. Right? Who knows? Price may just want this high sitting over here, and then we might continue lower, and then we might start another intraday model. Right? There's just a bunch of models within models, as you can see on the daily chart. Right? We're currently inside a buy model. Right? We're currently inside a buy model, and we keep zooming in into the lower time frames. We're going to see models within models, even on the 30-second chart. So that's really cool to see as well. Just something to just have in the back of your mind. And for the most part, we are also coming into all-time highs. All-time highs is pretty far left though. All-time highs is sitting at around this level here, which is really far left. Will we get this week? I don't know. I don't want to predict. I don't want to do anything. For the most part, so today's Wednesday, tomorrow we have high impact news, and Friday we have high impact news. So tomorrow and Friday might be really good too. So we'll see. just playing it safe, just making sure we're doing the right things, and just making sure that our trades look good. If you watch my other videos, I do talk about I want all of my trades to look the same. And the reason why is just because that's where I feel most confident in, right? If I just take a random fair value gap, a random inverse, and that's pretty much it, and it ends up losing, I'll be like, oh, why did it lose, right? Like, obviously you need more confluences, you need stuff to add up and stack on top of each other. And I think that's best when I find that best for me. For the most part, I do want all my trades to look the same, right? I do want some sell side being swept. I do want an SMT. I do want a fair value gap being tapped into. I do want to see some momentum. I do want to see a retracement back into a fair value gap. Like, I want to see certain things in order for me to take a trade. And that's how I know this trade would end up being good. Like, if this trade were to end up red here, and price has other ideas here, right, after this momentum here, and it just stops me out, like after this momentum, and then we just continue lower, stop me out, this would have been a good loss. I would be happy to take this loss, just because this is what I trade. This is literally what I trade. And in terms of price reading and just analyzing the market, right, if this were to go red, this would be a good loss to take, right? This is not my fault. This is not my fault. Maybe this trade, maybe I got in too early or something here, maybe potentially, but this is discount of the range here as well, so we are deep in discount into premium sequence, as you can see. So if this were to go red, it would have been a good loss. It would have been a good loss. I would have been happy taking this loss, just because this is what I trade. This is literally what I trade for the most part. And yeah, so aside from taking the 80-point trade today, really solid price action reading here, and just recognizing models and just recognizing what price wants to do, right? Just observing. So patting on my back for that as well. Man, I think I'm truly blessed, dude. I'm slowly start to really understand things and just really take my time. I remember I would want to trade each day. Yesterday I logged on the charts, I checked the 5-minute, I saw it was barcoding, I was like, oh, and it's the day before high impact news, so there was no news yesterday, right? Let me see. Yeah, there was this, and I would still want to trade, right? To me, like, back then every day was a trading day. Now it's like, do I want to trade? So for the most part, I'm being a lot more picky with the days I want to trade, and I just want to make sure I get the highest probability days for my trades to end up working, right? Like, for instance, this model here could have played out yesterday, and this could have ended up red just because it's Tuesday and it's before high impact news, it's before CPI, right? Right, so it's just less probable, right? It's just less probable. You want to trade on the most probable days. That's why I know some people don't even touch no news Monday, or don't even touch Fridays if there's no news, right? Because it's the end of the week and stuff. Or some people don't even trade at the end of the month, just because it's the end of the month and they believe it's less probable for them or for their models, right? You just got to do whatever fits you, and for the most part, I've been doing solid. Let me check the. Oh wait, sorry. It's 8:30. Yeah. So for the most part, I've been doing solid, really good stuff lately. I think this is the best my trading has ever been, in terms of keeping my composure, psychology in check, not wanting to overtrade, not being greedy. Like, I'm up for the day today. Other days, or old me would have been like, oh, I would go on Twitter, I would see people making a lot more money than I am, and be like, hey, I want to do that, hop back in the charts, and then just continue trading, and potentially just lose what I made for today and end the day red, or might even blow the account, right? So it's just little things, and you just notice it when you keep journaling. And so I promise you guys, journaling does come a long way. You really do find your tendencies, and you really do find yourself, and you're like, damn, like, I really need to fix this. Like you need to think trading as a sport. Like, how do athletes get good? Obviously, some of them might just be like a skill diff, like genetics and stuff like that. But for the most part, how do you get good at a sport? You practice. Practice makes perfect. So in practice here, you could forward test or back test. Um, what else can you do? You're an athlete. You have this. Oh yeah, VOD review, right? You review your gameplay or your game time or whatever, and that's when you fix your mistakes. And that's when you tweak your mistakes for the next time you go into a match or whatever basketball game or soccer game. You don't make the same mistakes, and that's little improvement, right? So making these videos for me and just journaling, right? This goes for everyone. Everyone should be journaling and, you know, copy screenshotting your trades and pasting them into a private Discord or Notion or whatever. That's you basically reviewing yourself and, you know, tweaking your little mistakes, and all of that goes a really long way. And you really start to learn things about yourself, and you should fix. And this is where discipline comes in, right? People say if you have a disciplined life outside of trading, you're going to be disciplined in trading. And that's where this comes in, because oftentimes you know what you should be doing, yet you still don't fix it. You, like, for the most part, I know that I shouldn't be eating junk food, yet I still eat junk food, right? It goes hand in hand, and that's why they say, you know, discipline. If you have a disciplined life outside of trading, you're going to be a disciplined trader, right? Because you know how to hold yourself, you know how to hold yourself accountable to certain things. And so, trading, honestly, just think of it as a perspective as an athlete, right? In order to get good, you need to practice, you need to review your gameplay or your VOD review or whatever, tweak your mistakes, fix it, so the next time you log on back into the charts, you don't repeat it, right? And if you do repeat it, you need to make sure you're your own coach, right? So if I were to blow an account, I'm doing 2 hours on the Stairmaster. I do not care, right? So for the most part, I do not want to do 2 hours on the Stairmaster voluntarily. Hell no, right? So that's holding me from blowing the accounts, right? You actually genuinely need to hold yourself accountable if you want to grow as a trader, right? If you have problems with over trading, if you have problems with over leveraging, or if you're getting jealous of other people making a lot more money than you, and you're over here trading 2 micros and you're ending your day with like 30 days in profit, while some dude on Twitter, the Twitter demons, are ending the day off like 3K, just worry about yourself and just do what you have to do. Obviously, the people on Twitter, for the most part, I give them their cakes and candles, like, dude, you're doing a great job. Hopefully I get to that 1.2 where I'm having 3K days. But for the most part, where I'm at right now, you need to build yourself up, right? You need to build the athlete you want to be. Athletes don't get good just from, eating around, standing in junk food. They're out here working. They're out here perfecting their craft, right? That is what we have to do. We have to perfect our craft if we want to, make something out of trading. And yeah, so that's pretty much it for this video, guys. I appreciate you guys. Hope if you end up staying to the end of this video. Thank you guys so much for watching. Again, thank you guys so much for the tremendous support. I wouldn't say we're close to 300 subscribers on YouTube, but I think we could reach that by the end of the year. The end of the year goal for me was to reach 300 subscribers on YouTube. So if you have any trading friends or anything, please make sure to like and subscribe, and even share this video. I'd really support this. Hope you guys are enjoying the journey. I also got invited to some TopStep thing. It was just for their dashboard. It was just for their dashboard here. I wonder if I should do it. I think I am. And I could probably make a YouTube video off of it, just talking about how good their new clean dashboard is. Everything's updated. Everything should be faster. So, when you take a payout, the amounts aren't automatically removed from your account. On the new dashboard, the amount's going to be automatically removed. Live updates. So if you're up 200 on the day, if you go to the dashboard, it's going to say you're up 200 on the day, right? So everything's a lot more updated. Everything's a lot more fast. Everything's a lot more present. So I think I'm going to go ahead and give that a try. I think I'm going to buy a combine. and just start it off and just review their stuff and just see how good it is. I have been seeing on Twitter that, you know, some people are coming into issues and stuff like that, so they don't really recommend trading your expresses or whatever, your full expresses, just because you might come into some issues. But all of that could be resolved if you're screen recording your trading session. So for the most part, I think everything should be okay, right? But I appreciate you guys for this video. Make sure to hold yourself accountable. Make sure you're doing the little things outside of trading to really build that discipline in, so you can bring that into your actual trading, right? And you may be like, oh, this guy's not even profitable, but everything is in this journal. Everything is in this journal. I'm just speaking out of experience in this journal and what I've seen myself become, right? I've seen myself become a lot more structured when I come into the trading day, right? Journaling makes a difference, because this is literally you. This is your journal holds the secret to becoming a profitable trader. And I'm not profitable, right? Profitable to me means to live off of trading money, right? By all means, I'm not profitable. I have gotten payouts. I've had good weeks. I had good months, but I'm not profitable. Not until I'm able to pay my rent for 5 months with trading money, payout money, or cash account money, right? But again, I'm telling you, if you want to be a profitable trader, or if you want to see some real progress in your trading and you're just lost in the sauce, I really do think you should be journaling, because your journal holds your tendencies and what you should be fixing in order to really develop yourself as a trader. And I'm sorry for this yap session. But yeah, that's pretty much it, guys. I hope you guys enjoyed this video. I will see you guys in tomorrow's video. Hopefully tomorrow we take a trade. If not, oh well, we do have Friday to trade. If we don't trade Friday, oh well, we do have Monday to trade, right? Unless the world ends, knock on wood. But for the most part, we have all until we have every day to pretty much trade until if the market crashes, then I mean that's a problem, right? But again, we have next week, we have the week after, 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 we have the month after. There's no reason why you should be rushing this. You just have so much time. There's just so many days throughout the year. We're halfway through the year, right? We just have so many trading opportunities. There's really no reason why you should be rushing a payout, why you should be over leveraging just because you want a payout, right? Just take it slow, learn, write down what you're doing right, write down what you're doing wrong, go ahead and fix what you're doing wrong. And yeah, little by little, it's with progress, right? Slow turtle wins the race. But I appreciate you guys. I was gonna end this video a while ago, but I keep yapping. Appreciate y'all, love y'all, and I'll catch you guys in the next video. Peace.